maybe go over a bump, and it all gets a bit wrong, and that falls off, and that's the end of the gear change. So here's a potentially really nasty little issue that I found while I was just doing a check over the other day before a long trip. Now, I decided not to continue with the trip, and you'll see why when I get this cover back off again. This is the gearbox or transmission in slightly more modern speak, and this is just taking the plastic cover off that protects it from ingress of all kinds of nasties. There's one thing doing it, there's another thing holding the camera and doing it. Let's just get that off. There she goes. Right, so in here I went in to just do a level check on the gearbox. Now, what we've got here are the various control mechanisms for the gearbox that links over to the gear stick. Now, if you have a look there, you hopefully will see what's wrong on the end of this cable, and that is that there's kind of like a grommet there in the middle that's been breaking up, and it will very easily just pull off. Now, that being the case, when you're driving it, maybe go over a bump, and it all gets a bit wrong, and that falls off, and that's the end of the gear change. So what we're going to do is we're going to get on and hopefully source that little grommet there in the middle, because there's no need to change the whole cable, and replace that. So here we've got three of the grommets. One's a new one on the right there, in the middle is a part worn, and on the left is the one that's just come out. As you can see, it's absolutely knackered. Not much more to say about that, really. This is a part worn one. You can see it's sort of egg shaped there on both sides, and that's where the metal pin in the middle has basically been pushing up against it as you do the gear changes, and worn it. And finally, the new one. This is courtesy of one of my neighbours, who's still fixing cars on a part-time basis. The new one he had there in stock because of the regularity of the issue, and the part worn had just come off a job he was doing one day. I think he replaced a cable or something, and just took it out on a just in case, get you out of trouble sort of job. The new grommet is really quite stiff. It's not at all flexible or pliable, if you like. As you can see there by the way I'm pressing it, this side is easier, but of course the critical side is going to be this side as it pushes through. So what I'm going to do is just drop it in some hot water here while I'm taking apart the cover and so on the car, so it should warm up and become somewhat more flexible. Okay, so let's just get it out of the hot water and take a look at it. And now we can see it's really flexible. So I'm not going to hang around. It's time to get it on the car before it cools down. lovely.